welcome. We're with Captain Max Steele, who is a radio talk show host under that professional name, and is a former U.S. Special Forces, trained at Fort Bragg, and also has operated in the Special Forces as an intuitive and empath, and the U.S. Special Forces has used him, and the U.S. government has used him in that capacity. Welcome, Captain Max Steele.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you, Alfred, and it's always been a pleasure to be with you and also on my show on Wolf Spirit Radio.
Great. And as I understand it, today we're going to have a special program with regard to North Korea. And I just want very briefly for those people tuning in for the first time, and also to the news agencies, because this is being sent out to news agencies worldwide, because it's an important news bulletin. If you could just briefly summarize your military training and any specialized military experiences that you can talk about, because you cannot talk about other things that might be relevant.
Thank you. In 1974, I joined the U.S. Army, and as I was training in boot camp and all that, I was accepted later on in driving secret cargo to different secret bases. And I was also involved in a lot of secret for the government and the Ronald Reagan president back then. Most of my records in the Special Forces has been erased at my, I had that erased for a reason, and none of my records that I've been in the Special Forces will be shown because of the secrecy that I was involved in, and to protect the people that was with me and who I worked for. I worked for the U.S. government for almost 18 years as a military, and a lot of my information that I have done, a lot of the experience that I've had was classified, so I'm not allowed to talk about it. But I am right now an intuitive. I do have a website, max21d.com. You can go in there and see what is it that I do. I'm a remote viewer. I'm a special in remote viewing. I'm intuitive. I can do all kinds of different things, and I try to keep a low profile, but it's very hard not to do that. But I do have an incredible information that needs to be released, because I have sent the information to different parts of the government of the United States, and they're not complying with my message. It's very important that the people of the United States know about this breaking news I'm about to release. And I came across this about 3 days ago, and I've been trying to get the information out. So I reached over to my friend here, Alfred Webre, to release the news.
Okay, and just by way of background, there are several high-level expert reports. We've been covering this area for a number of decades. Myself as a journalist, as a credentialed journalist at the world level, as credentialed to the United Nations, to many international forums. This is from a February 14th, 2017 article referring to a world expert, James Oberg, describing North Korea's missile program. James Oberg said that it appears the goal is to launch weaponized satellites, a fear the Pentagon has already started to prepare for. Quote, There have been fears expressed that North Korea might use a satellite to carry a small nuclear warhead into orbit and then detonate it over the United States for an EMP strike. EMP stands for electromagnetic pulse. These concerns seem extreme and require an astronomical scale of irrationality on the part of the regime, he wrote in Space Review. Then, after describing a bizarre trick he took to North Korea to witness the program, he concluded, quote, "The most frightening aspect I've come to realize is that exactly such a scale of insanity is now evident in the rest of their, quote, space program." And there are other articles of other experts and analysts who have gone to North Korea, who have gone to their space program, and it appears that in fact North Korea has developed an EMP pulse satellite and has, which according to these reporters may in fact have placed satellites over the United States which contain EMP pulses. And we have separately reported over the years that the destination of an EMP weapon over the United States could result in up to 100 million deaths in the United States. And these are NASA estimates. These are estimates of deaths by NASA. So and we will be putting all of these references in the article that will be accompanying this exclusive interview with Captain Max Steele, which again is his professional name. It's not his military real name, that are in the video description. I just wanted to give that my background so that everyone can see that we're dealing with something that is real, that Captain Max Steele has already reported to the U.S., the highest levels of U.S. government military authority. Captain Max, over to you, please. If you could please describe what you have discovered and what you have briefed us on that has brought us to this emergency broadcast on Sunday, April 16th, which is Easter Sunday, 2017.
Well, thank you, Webre. Alfred. About 3 days ago, I usually being intuitive and feeling things, and my remote viewing sometimes kicks automatic and sends visions to my mind, and I'm able to receive it. I just want to tell you that before I say any more, that the United States government uses remote viewers all the time. And I haven't been involved in some of that when I was in the military. Now, I was guided like I always do. I was guided to a YouTube video, and I was seeing visions of satellite first, and then I was guided to see this video, and I watched it, and then as soon as I only watched it maybe a couple minutes, okay, and what I saw was that North Korea put a satellite over the United States. They send it the opposite direction that normally would send a satellite into space. This satellite goes from directly over the United States of America, all the way to the Arctic Circle, and then comes back down through South America and come right all over to the top of the United States. So as soon as I saw that, I had a vision. It was a remote viewing vision, and I saw inside the satellite a EMP device inside the satellite. I saw what it looked like, and it was square, and it looked like an old cashier, a cashier where you push the buttons, the old ones, and it had these wheels all around it on the top, which generated the EMP pulse, electromagnetic pulse. And I saw the vision that they are going to drop this on the United States. And that's what they call it, the Shining Star satellite, which is KMS-4. And this satellite has the EMP on the inside. And that's the event that North Korean leader has in store for the United States. And I acknowledge that the United States hear what I'm saying, because if they do drop this, the United States will be helpless and it will be neutralized, and no missiles will ever be able to defend us in case they shoot a nuclear weapon at us. We won't be able to do that. The only way they might be able to shoot a couple of missiles at North Korea, it's probably switching back to the old ways, because right now we use mostly electronics and computers, and the old way was very different. So I'm sending this information to the United States government and the United States of America, and for the people of the planet and the people of the United States, to try to contact your congressmen and your senators and tell them what I'm telling you right now. It's very important that you give this information, because the EMP is not just going to neutralize the electronics. It will also hurt you. It will hurt the humans that are in the United States. The EMP electromagnetic will affect the human body, and that will bring a lot of death to this country. And one of the reasons that you figure out is why is it going to hurt a human body, is because the human body contains iron all over our body, and those people will be highly affected by it, and it will cause death. And I don't want that to happen. Too many people out there have many secrets, and they don't want to give it out because they feel that they're in danger. So I've decided to come to Alfred here, my friend, and tell the truth of what my visions as a remote viewer. I guess about it.
Yeah, and NASA several years ago released a study on the effects of an EMP attack, and they included the electrical grid going down all over the US, which means that activity ceases. All your food supply in the cities, they only have 2 or 3 days of food supply. So all your food supply in the cities cease, and all your banks cease, all your financial transactions cease, your water purification, all of the basic services cease. And depending on how broad the footprint of the EMP attack is, NASA set out that this was, one of the most deadly attacks upon the U.S. Now, let me ask you some questions.
Okay.
Does the U.S. government know about KMS-4, that it is an EMP satellite, and does it know its location?
Well, I'm sure they know it because it has been flying over the U.S. for several months, and they've known about this. I got to add a few things here. I know that they want a new world order in the United States and all over the world to control the people of the earth. And I feel that very, very strong that they will allow this to happen because they want to control all humans. They want to control the people of the United States and elsewhere. I feel that they might just allow this to control the people of Earth because they've been wanting to reduce the population, and they're doing it by the food that we eat. A lot of the food contains propylene glycol, and everybody know the people that knows, the mechanics, they know that propylene glycol is an antifreeze. And they're putting in many of our food and what we eat, and they're been trying to hurt us for a long time. And it could be a possibility they may allow this to drop so they can control us and take many of us down. And I feel that we do have a lot of corrupt congressmen and senators in the United States government. And I feel that we the people of the United States deserve answers, they need to be truthful with us. It's enough of corrupt and corruption. We have a lot of good people in the military. We have a lot of good people in different branches of our government's agencies. There are good people there. And also good people in Canadian and in United States border. There's a lot of good people on both sides. And I just want to say that we need to all come together and make sure that the government does the right thing. They need to take this satellite down. They need to shoot it. They've shot many satellites before. I've actually not been a witness to it, but I know they have. And they need to shoot this one down, and they need to shoot it down now.
It was reported, in fact, within the last month, because the issue of anti-satellite weapons and that whole issue has been a debate for the last 40 years or more, that both the Russians and the Chinese have shot down satellites, and the technology that's used is that you take a jet airplane, you bring it up to the edge of space, or to, where, depending on what the orbit of the satellite is, and then you take a rocket and you shoot it at the satellite and you knock it down.
Right.
And so it's a relatively simple procedure.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. We do have satellites in space that has laser technology. It's been up there for 10 years or longer. We can actually shoot it down with one of those satellites, and those satellites are able, they can be mobilized and sent to a different part of space anywhere they want. And they can actually shoot this satellite down with laser. And I believe that's the way they should do it.
Now, you have reported your findings to your former command structure in the Special Forces. Have you heard back from this?
No, I just checked about a few minutes before I came here to speak here. And the only way I could send it to be anonymous is I send it by Facebook. And I did that, and I haven't got no answer. They may think that it's a hoax, makes me think that I'm joking, and that they don't find any information on my personal ID. And that's probably why. And not answering at least one word. I can't do anything about that. I even send a message to NORAD and send a message to our beloved President Donald J. Trump. I haven't heard anything yet. And I hope that they take me serious. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, to send this information out. I have done several in Wolf Spirit Radio, but nothing like this. I'm glad I brought it to you, and hopefully they'll take me serious, because they already know it. There's an EMP in that satellite.
Well, I'm just reading here from again from Jim Oberg's another article by Jim Oberg on February 6, 2017. And here's a photograph of Jim Oberg at North Korea's Sohae launch site in 2012. And that's their space launch site. And he says, and he's the only real rocket scientist, a professional spaceflight engineer that really has covered this. He says the real mystery was what was the true unseen purpose of the enormous expense that the government was pouring into the program. And then he says that doomsday scenario, which is the doomsday scenario, the KMS-4 satellite, the shining star, the EMP pulse, now seems has become plausible enough to compel the United States to take active measures to ensure that no North Korean satellite, unless thoroughly inspected before launch, be allowed to reach orbit and ever overfly the United States. The rationale for this extreme stand is as follows. And James Oberg does not have the information that we are sharing now. We're going to send it to James Oberg. However, he sets out exactly what seems to be the case of KMS-4. So this is a serious news bulletin, breaking news alert, because so far, as you state, the U.S. government has not taken active measures to terminate this satellite or to warn the world community that the United States population could be the subject of an EMP strike that could leave between 30 and 100 million Americans dead.
Also, this North Korean prime dictator, he's a lunatic. If he's able to kill his own family for whatever reason he does, he will do this. He's waiting for the right opportunity. Don't underestimate this man, this young kid, because they're more dangerous than an older person. And this man will do it. That's why he's not afraid of the United States or China or Russia. I'm going to tell you another thing. He has 2 other satellites over China and Russia. He's going to take out the big boys first. And that lunatic, a North Korean dictator, will do it. And then finish us off with these nuclear weapons that he does have. He's been working on something really, really that the United States or Russia or China doesn't have. He's working on a very secret project right now. And he tried to he tried a couple of days ago or a day ago, tried to fire it up and to test it, and it failed. But if he gets it right, a little guy like this lunatic, will control the planet if he does this. Not only Russia and China is involved, will be involved in it, but also India, United Kingdom, and all the countries that do acquire and do have legally nuclear weapons. I do know something that some of us do know. You have seen government rockets being shot and being shot into space, and then this alliance that's not from Earth have taken down a few of those by lasers. Okay. A lot of information been sent out there that a lot of the nuclear weapons have been neutralized, so none can be fired. That's not all true. There's a lot of deceive of information being sent on YouTube to the YouTube media, where everybody goes to find out whatever you want to hear, want to know, it's there. A lot of that is false. A lot of that stuff is to put you into fear. I have no fear, and I have no ego. I know how to control that and release that from myself. But I am talking to all of you from my heart, not the bottom of my heart, all of my heart to all of you, that I work with love, and I love myself, and I send love to everyone on the planet. I'm serious. Take this serious. This man is a lunatic, and if he's capable of killing his family like he does, he's capable of doing worse than that. And that's what I'm trying to bring to you, that the United States is not the only country target. Russia and China and India, the United Kingdom is a target too. There's a lot of these EMP devices in these satellites all over the planet. You must try to identify these satellites, because some of them are armed inside. They're armed EMPs in it. The moment he hits the switch, they will all fall on all these countries that I have said. And then you will be neutralized, and you cannot do nothing about it. I know that you have had the technology to stop this, if this was ever done. But a lot of these countries, because they fall under the New World Order, G7 countries that are controlled by the cabal, they want this to happen because they want to control the planet. Stand up to them. I send information to the military. Do something about it before they neutralize us from one soldier to another. And I send this with my love to all of you, that I'm serious that this is going to happen if you don't do something about it. These satellites are dressed up, camouflage as television satellites. And there are other countries helping them do this. And there's a family that's in England that's backing the North Korean on this. And it's about how to control us and take advantage of us. Stay at the highest love as possible. Feel the love in your heart. That I'm being truthful with you. And I swear to our celestial Father, which we call on earth God, I swear to you that I'm telling you the truth. And I truly mean it.
Thank you. Now, I just want to ask, because viewers and of this interview are going to have the links, and we'll put it in the video description, the links to this and links to backup articles, so that people see that this is serious and it's documented. What do you recommend to either just plain everyday folk, to concerned citizens, to members of the military that maybe, you know, they're not in the line of fire? What do you recommend to the different people that see this? They get it. They suddenly say, my God, this is it. What should they do? What can they do as kind of to propagate and move the whole thing into action to take out all of these EMP satellites?
Well, I recommend that because this will create fear. What I just, it will create fear.
Yeah.
I do not want you to go into fear.
Yeah.
I want for you to be at the highest of your higher self and the highest love, and remove the fear. Don't allow fear to come into you. Allow love to come into your heart, and do things with your mind. Do things right. Do not go into fear about this. What you need to do is contact your congressmen and your senators and send messages. If you have family members that are in the U.S., they're in the military, all the branches, to send the information to their commanders so they're aware of it. Some are not aware of any of this. This is being kept kind of hush. But you need to contact your friends that are in the military, let them know that. Make sure it gets to the high command of the government, the military, and also our president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. He needs to know this. I'm sure he has been given this information, and they're overlooking what this man is capable of doing. They need to take this into reality and take it serious, because if this happens, there's nothing we can do. We're going to have all kinds of chaos, not just in the United States. The people, when they react in fear, they have no control of themselves. They can't control themselves. They go into fear and they start thinking all kinds of crazy things. And the first thing they're going to do is protect their family. I would recommend that you would have food and water. I recommend that you put the food and water in a Faraday cage. If you do have, because not everybody can do this. If you have money to buy a ship container, which is all metal, and put your food and water stored in that container. If this happens, which I wish it don't happen, it doesn't. It's not going to happen. I like to say those words. I recommend that if you have vehicles, the only vehicles that will drive when an EMP has been dropped is the old vehicles, the the early 70s down that has points and condenser. Those are the only vehicles that will run, not the electronic ones like we have now. They won't run. I recommend that you put batteries in these Faraday cages. If you don't have money to buy a container, I would go to the hardware store and buy a galvanized garbage can, insulate it with either cardboard or styrofoam on the bottom and the walls, and put your batteries, your radios of communications, your spare cell phone in there. The cell phone is not going to work either, but at least it's inside the Faraday cage when the system goes up. At least you'll be able to communicate. Ham radios, make sure you have a spare one, a portable one, and put it in the Faraday cage so it won't get damaged. But the problem is that the electromagnetic pulse will go through a house. It will go through walls and ceilings, even underground, probably about 5 feet underground. You have you're not safe in the home either, because it will go through concrete walls and stuff, unless your house is made out of 100% metal. And it's very difficult. It's gonna turn. If this happens, it will turn our planet and the chosen countries that I've named before. It will create a chaos. It's going to be hard to control. The military won't be able to control it, just temporary. And they can't control. There's too many of us. And not only that, there's a lot of the people in the United States have guns. They have a lot of weapons and a lot of ammunition. And I'm afraid of that some will go into rage and lose their minds. And when they run out of food for their family, the first thing they're going to do is come after another home that has food. And they're going to do all kinds of bad things you shouldn't do. That's what I'm afraid of. And this will happen if you don't do something about it now. It's the time. When this information gets out to the public, I just want you to stand in your ground. Money's not going to do anything. Money's not going to do anything for you. So don't go to the banks. Not going to be able to get anything. The only money that we have is virtual. There's very little in the banks. And that's what's going on. This is reality. This is a reality. Wake up. We need to stop this now before it gets worse, before it just goes into chaos. I'm asking you from my heart to yours to contact your military officials and high command and tell them that they need to shoot these satellites down. Not just in the United States, Russia, China, India, United Kingdom, and all the people that does have it. This needs to be stopped before it gets any worse. And that's what I have to say.
Are there hidden controllers behind North Korea?
Yes. I know who they are. I don't know what this is going to do to me personally. As a soldier and well-trained, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not afraid. I have a lot of protection. And I'm bringing this to the public. You see my face. This is my real face. Anybody that come after me from any government because you don't want me to talk, like I just said this, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not. My protection is pretty high up. I'm not going to be intimidated by anybody to come after me. I'm not afraid. I'm not. Anybody tries to assassinate me, anything happens to me, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of nothing. The military trained me so highly. I've been training in so many things. Mind control and all that stuff does not hurt me. It bounces off me because I know how to get rid of it when I'm being attacked by either that, scalar weapons that the government uses. Some of these weapons are used to shoot down aircraft that doesn't belong there. And you know what I'm talking about? And then when you get them, you use it for your own protection, for your own military actions. I'm aware of all that. I'm aware of what you have. I'm not going to go into detail because I swore secrecy and I signed contracts, which one is already expired, but there's one that's still there. I can only say certain things, but I just want you to know that I'm talking you to from my heart, that I'm telling you the truth about this. Anybody come to assassinate me, you're going to find a big surprise. Don't try it. I would know before you leave. Believe me, I know before you leave. I have been as many as 11 times attempts on me to kill me and destroy me, but I'm still here. I've kept a low profile for a long time, but I came back out in 2014. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. I'm not afraid of you. And that's what I got to say.
Thank you. Now, if anyone ranging from an organization to human, fellow citizens want to follow you, to get updates, to ask advice, or what, can they contact you? Can they go to your website? What's the best point of contact?
I do have a website. It's called www.max21d, the letter D as in David.com. I do have email where you can contact me at Captain Max Steel, CAPT Max Steel at hushmail.com. I'm on every Wednesdays on Wolf Spirit Radio. And when you're going to read the archive, it says MSS for Max Steel Show. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah. Are there any other points that you had wanted to bring up that perhaps you did not have a chance to bring up yet?
I did, but I forgot.
Well, if there are any points that emerge, that you may get word that there's a secret operation that takes out, you know, the satellites, whatever. We're here. We can broadcast whatever updates are necessary. So we're available to you. Our network is available to you 24/7.
I really, truly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot of whistleblowers out there that come out and they're telling the truth about what they have gone through, and they're all being neglected and moved aside as crazy people. And they're not crazy people.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there in plain sight that they see visions and they hear people, they hear in their heads, and the doctors call them their schizophrenia or bipolar just because they hear things. They're not sick. They hear information, and they're qualified in the psychiatric ward as crazy people. They're not crazy. They're getting information, and then they classify them as crazy. They're not crazy. Everybody on this planet has psychic abilities. Some people just have not developed that. We do have a third eye here that not just humans use it. There's other extraterrestrial. Do you think truly that God only made Earth only with people in it? You're very wrong. They're everywhere on this planet. They're among us, and they look like us. And they're here to help us. But a lot of them have been put in psychiatric wards in the hospital as crazy people. They're not crazy people. And then they give them these drugs to control them. And they give drugs and drugs and drugs so they can keep them quiet. The pharmaceutical companies do that. They're the ones that inform the medical field, the doctors. They tell the doctors what to give to their patients. Doctors need to check these side effects on these drugs before they issue it to a human being, because they're causing damage on purpose. And that's what they're doing. And another thing that I need to tell you, that you know this, that the doctors, when they are sworn in their certificate and all that, that they have to sign a information with the DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, which they give them an ID number. And guess what? When they get the ID numbers, they put it into the database of the pharmaceutical companies, and they put it into all the pharmacies. And what happens is that the doctors get 14% kickback on everything they prescribe. And this free information is not out there. And I'm telling you this because I ask questions. And you need to know, you need to check. If you have a computer, or if you don't have a computer, go to your local library and put those names of those pharmaceutical drugs they have given you and get the side effect of it. And you're going to see how much of the pains that you have been getting from different side effects. I know this because I have someone that's going through that. And I don't want this to be kept any more secret. The doctors know about this. And what do you think? You see these doctors that have these, they live in luxury. They all live in luxury. Most of them do. There are some out there They don't care about that. They go to different countries and use their services for free. And a lot of them don't use drugs. They use herbs and different things that really cures and heals. I'm in Canada now. I love this country. This is my second most loving countries that I know. And I love it here. But I gotta tell you that the university here where I'm at have found different cures that cures many cancers, different types. And they release it to the public, but then it just goes away and put into a drawer and forget about it. I don't know why they do that. Why in the first place they find the cure and then they put it away. When there are so many people in Canada that are suffering from cancer. I know one very close to the family, and he is suffering because of his cancer. And he's been getting help from different places. And every time I see him, he's in a lot of pain. And I wish I could do something about it. I want to release today that I have the schematics to build a healing chamber that will heal everything. I don't have the money to do this. I wish I had the money. I will give it to the public for free. If there's any millionaires out there that have a little spare, contact me. And I will sit with scientists and we'll build millions of them. They're not very hard to build. It will heal everything. And it depends of the seriously of the cancer of the person. It will take a little longer. And not only that, it will create missing limbs. People that have lost their legs and arms in the war of Iraq and Afghanistan. It's all a lie. They're not there to protect. What they're saying is something else. But I do have the schematics how to build it. It won't take much money. I need some scientists and some engineers to help me build it. It will probably take 6 months to build one working one. There'll be too many people lined up for this. So I need not to build one at a time. I need to build many of them. I will share the technology with all the people of the planet. I don't want anything. I just want people to get healed and cured. And there's other things that I have different schematics for many things that I can bring to the world. And that's what I want to do. I want to help humanity. And I do it with love because I love everyone. And I send love to all of you. It's all about love. It's about to get rid of the negativity, the negative and the dark forces. They're trying to control the good people of us. But there are too many of us. So for now on, project love from your heart to the planet. And we also need to manifest, all of us. You can do it. Manifest the RV to come through. It's going to come. But we have to work, all of us, together at the same time. We need to project and manifest it. Because the dark forces does not want us to do this. And you know what? I don't care what they say. I'll face them. I faced them many times. And I won because dark does not go into the light. The light always wins. When they see the light coming, they go the other way. They're scared and they're cowards and they're traitors. So if any of you out there want to contact me, I will share the schematics. I don't have it anywhere in the computers or anything. So if the hackers want to hack, welcome. It's not anywhere there. You know where it is? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I send it there. I send it into the matrix. It's in million pieces. And I can pull it out of the matrix whenever I want and bring it into reality. And believe me, I truly have the healing chambers that will heal everything. I do. Nobody has it, but I do. And I have my own abilities to do many things. And I can prove that. That's what I have to say, Alfred. And the thing that, and what I forgot, I actually said it. It was about the chambers.
Well, then, that's a beautiful thought. Thank you. So we opened up this news with taking out the malevolence that is present in the human community to attack the human community, and we take that out, and then we bring the potential for a healing technology to come in. That's a wonderful thing to do today, Sunday, April 16th, 2017, Easter Sunday.
And a happy Easter to everyone out there. And you know where to contact me.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We've been with Captain Max Steele. And so thank you. This is just an awesome program, and this will be out there shortly. And we're going to spread this far and wide, and hopefully we'll truly be turning swords into plowshares, and this will be a transformatory program that will change the nature and direction of the human future into a positive future. Thank you, Max.
You're very welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be here on your program.
Absolutely.